Hi, welcome back to the course. We are studying Santiago de Murcia's Cancion or Toccata, which is very unorthodox to find a piece called like that. In Baroque music, the definition of a song or a cantata is a piece to be sung, and the definition of a toccata is a piece to be played. It's only instrumental. When a composer calls a piece a song, a cancion, or a toccata, that is paradoxical. Should it be sung? Should it be played? Should it be played as if it were a song? And if it were a song, what would the guitar play? Would it double the voice? Would it play more the harmony and there is another version? So many questions, but however, we may notice that no matter what the answers are, the melody is king here. Everything is happening according to the melody, be it a song, be it a toccata. And this melody has some special features. I think it's best for us to go measure per measure to see those special features that you should work on. The melody is quite simple. I won't spend some time in this lesson talking about the harmony. You should be able to classify the chords at that moment in your course. It's in F major, so the tonic is the F major. The subdominant is this B flat major chord, and the dominant is the C major chord. The tonic relative is the D minor, the subdominant relative is the G minor, and the dominant of the tonic relative is the A minor. And that's are the chords that you can find here. There's just one exception that you can find one E major chord here just before an A major. So the A major is the dominant of the tonic relative, and the E major is the dominant of the tonic relative. Quite easy, isn't it? So let's go to the melody. Remember, there is an anacrusis here. When there is this incomplete measure, we start numbering from the very first complete measure. If you need to number the anacrustic measure, you should call it a measure 0. Okay? We start with a slur. This is slur from finger 1 to an open string. So play as if it were plucking the string with your index finger. Fine. Then we have a trillo on the measure number 2. There are two possibilities to play that trillo. One is with slurs, just like you started the piece. It's best if you make accelerando on the trillo. But you can also play in two chords. It is more difficult if you want to play the F on the first fret and the E on the 50th. It's easier if you just play the F on the 60th fret on the second string and the E as an open string. And then you should play in the right hand A, I, A, or you can alternate A, I, A, M, A, I, A, M, A, and the thumb on the C. On the recording, I've played each time in a different way. There is a ritornello, so the first time I played in one way, on the second time I played differently. That's an opportunity for you to hear how each option sounds, and it will help you decide which one is best. I recommend you, however, that you should try both. This is a great opportunity for you to master, or at least study, those two possibilities of making trillos and you can improve how you play the one that is least favorite for you right now. Okay, then we keep on going. We have F, E, F, C, D, E flat, E. There is something that you have seen before. It's an appoggiatura, an harmonic appoggiatura. The melody is with the E flat. The F, although it's a higher note, is just completing the harmony. So the E flat is a tension note that is released by a down step to it goes down to a neighbor note that is part of the chord. The chord is the B flat major, which is B flat, D, F. E flat is not part of the chord, but it goes stepwise down to a note of the chord. So it's an appoggiatura, you know how it is. Stress a little bit the tension, less on the release, and very legato. So, okay. Then on the next measure we have mordente, but mordente that you should go low. See that you have a vertical line crossing the mordente. This mark is telling you that you should go down instead of going up. So probably you're used to C mordentes, and you would, if it hadn't this vertical line, you would play G, D, E, F, G, F, F, G, F. But because of this vertical line, it means that you should go down. So G, D, E, F, E, F, F, E, F, you go down. F, E, and then back to F. You could do in two strings, yes, but it's so fast and it's not worth it. Playing in two strings would be so much more difficult that it doesn't pay doing that. Okay? On the next measure, there is a good example of some slurs that I cut off. I'm not a fan of slurs. But I'm not a fan of slurs because it doesn't allow crescendos or decrescendos in a very perfect way. Because in a crescendo or a decrescendo, what you want is each note becoming stronger or softer than the following. And the slur, the lack of dynamic control of the slurs, doesn't allow you to make sure that you're doing that. So, for example, when you play D, you play D and then E goes down. But I don't want to go down, I want to go up. So I cut the slur off. And this is something that I do in a lot of slurs in that piece. Okay, we are repeating the second part. You should start with a capo on the 3rd fret. You could not playing the capo, but making this transition from the G to the capo, to the barré on the 3rd chord or 3rd fret, it's way too hard. I don't recommend you to do so. So instead of trying to change from the G to a barré, go to the barré. Of course, when you're playing the A, you don't need to be pressing the barré yet. It's better that you don't. But you are already prepared to make a barré. And then when you go to the G, you are on the barré. And then it's easy to play also the F. Beware that, because very often we are making slur and playing a neighbor note down or up, when we have this 3rd jump, it's very often to have reading mistakes. I mean that you start A, G, F, E, F. It's not back to E, it's neither going to G. E, F, B, a third. So, okay, beware not to make this reading mistake. Next, we have some more slurs that I cut off. I recommend you to watch my performance to check them. And there is one fingering trick that will help you on this A major chord that follows. You have D, E, F, D, C sharp, B, A with the finger 3. What's going on here is not that relevant. What's relevant is the A must be played with the finger 3. Okay, this must be 3. Then it's easy for you to play F sharp and D with 2 and 4. Make the slurs go up, and remember the number finger 3 that was in this A? Now you go up 1 fret and it's on B flat. And the finger 2 that was in F sharp, now it's in G. 1 more fret up with 2 and 4, and you are ready to play one more chord. And there you go. Then we end this phrase. There is some repetition, and there is another slur that I cut off on the measure before the last one. Why do I cut those slurs? First, we have a crescendo here, but what I do cut is on the third beat it's written a E with a C and then slur to a D. Then you should do a barré on the third fret. But this barré, at least for me, the second string falls exactly. It falls exactly on this little hole I have on my fingers. So I cannot hold that string well for some time. So I just cut this slur off, and then I play the D here, and I change the slur to make, instead of from E to D, I make the slur from D to C. So instead of suffering to make this unreliable note, playing this unreliable note because of the barré, does it sound different? Of course, but reliability is also being confident, being sure that you're going to play all notes perfectly has a price. I think it's better to pay that price in this moment. So this is pretty much it. How do I recommend you to study that piece? First and foremost, study each movement at a time, but it's very important. You should practice in how Franz Hallas taught me. He called it pluck. What does mean? What does this mean? Play as if there were some electricity running through the frets. So when you play a note, you get an electric shock, and you want to release your finger from the fret immediately. But it goes back to the release position, and then you play the other note as fast as possible. It's not Tai Chi Chuan, it's Kung Fu. So you play F, release, and you stop. And then you are going to play the slur. Do the slur fast, and then stop. Then we have a F with F. Think, stop, and go at once. Okay, it's not slur and then slow motion, I prepare for the F. No, only fast movements. Because by doing so, you are already learning how to play fast movements. Although you are making lots of silence or lots of stillness between those fast movements, all you have to do later is to make those fast movements closer. And it's easier than to speed up the slow motion movements, okay? Other thing that you should do is to study singing out loud the notes. And I recommend you to sing in a way which you will sing differently a B flat from a B natural, okay? I use the German system. You should use as you prefer, but it's important for you to mark that a B flat is different from a B, a F natural is different from a F, a C sharp is different from a C. Okay? Study that way, and for sure you're going to master the piece very fast and very well. Have fun.